Getty Images will once again be a public company. The 27-year-old digital media provider announced that it has completed the merger with C.C. Neuberger Principal Holdings, a publicly traded special purpose acquisition company, a SPAC, and will begin trading at the New York Stock Exchange. And CEO Craig Peters joins me now. And Craig, tell me about your journey to the IPO.
Well, it starts, I guess, 27 years ago when we were founded. It's a business that is a great business. It's a business that has a tremendous product that our customers need and value. It has a product that has an impact in the broader world at its best, and it's a business that's highly profitable, and it's one that we're excited to bring back to the public markets because, as you and I were talking before, it allowed us to raise about $1 billion in capital, which allows us to retire both preferred investments that we had on our balance sheet as well as some debt, and puts the company into really strong financial footing to be able to use its profitability as well as its balance sheet to pursue all the opportunities that we see in front of us. It's taken us a bit of time to get this transaction complete. The world has been, a complex place as it continues to throw things at everybody. But I think it starts with the strength of the business. You have a great business with real customers, real revenues, real profits. And I think those businesses shine in any environment.
Mm-hmm. So. And you mentioned the influx of cash that you get from the IPO, but there are other advantages to being a publicly listed company as well, like in terms of just the prestige and marketing. And talk to me about why some of that outweighs some of the headaches of being a public company as well.
Yeah, well, I think today's an example of that. I get to talk to you and tell you about our great company, and I know there's customers out there that will listen to that. And ringing the bell today was something that that I think puts our brand and our company out onto an even broader platform that it already is. I think we're a well-established brand, but we can always grow that and grow it geographically and grow it into new customer segments. But I also think it's a day that as a company we get to celebrate. I get the opportunity now to craft equity plans for our staff and to allow them to participate in this business, which as a private company you can do, but on a fairly limited basis. As a public company, we can allow much broader participation, and I'm excited to do that because at the end of the day, it's not me. It's 1,700 employees. It's 300 content partners. It's almost 500,000 contributors that really create the success of Getty Images. And I'm happy to be able to kind of broaden out that reward.
Yeah, well, I had no idea. 500,000 contribritors. You would meet people all over the globe, I assume.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah.
I was at a sporting event just a few days ago, and the individual in front of me was actually one of our contributors. So I got a real live focus group there.
So, and you're getting into NFTs too. So you're kind of looking ahead to the future and digital images. Explain that part of your strategy.
Well, I think it's looking into the future. We've always been very innovative and trying to think about not just like innovation in a technology sense, but innovation in the content that we produce and how we represent things and how we cover events. But Web 3.0 is coming. What form is it going to take? I'm not going to sit here and tell you I understand it all and know exactly what form it's going to take. But I do know one thing. I do know that people's passions will carry forward into Web 3.0. People's passions existed pre-internet. They existed in Web 1.0 and Web 2.0, and they're going to exist in Web 3.0. And our content allows people to connect with their passions, whether that's music or sport or history or photography itself. And so, we can really use our content and our capabilities to allow for that in this Web 3.0, either on a direct basis, and we announced a partnership with Candy Digital to do that, or indirectly through our existing customers and partners. So, one of the more prominent NFT offerings out there is the NBA's Top Shots in partnership with Dapper Labs. And we're supplying content into that. So, Yeah, we're always, trying to make sure that we're allowing people to connect with their passions, connect with the audiences that they're trying to connect to. And our content's been a constant medium for that to happen. So I fully expect it to be a medium for that in 3.0.
Yeah, no, and I think you're like a lot of people. We know it's coming. We don't know how it's going to look exactly, how we're going to interact with Web 3.0, but I think there's enough technology working on it. There's something there.
There's something there, and if there's anything that we've learned as a business over the last 3 to 4 years, don't try to over predict, because you're likely going to be wrong. But be ready for the opportunities. Be prepared for the opportunities as they present themselves, or even the challenges, and turn them into opportunities. And so, yeah, we're excited about Web 3.0 and what it can mean for us, and we'll surf that wave as it presents itself.
Okay, so we've talked about NFTs, and then your new future is a public company. What else do you think that Getty Images may be having in the near future? What's kind of your strategy?
Well, the strategy is, some people might find this boring, but it starts with great content. Mm-hmm. Produce great content. Our customers buy our content to connect with end audiences. They could be a media company that needs to, have coverage of what's happening in Ukraine, or on Capitol Hill, or at a sporting event. Or it could be a brand that's trying to connect with a certain demographic, a certain target customer, or with their existing customers. And we need to stay really focused on that to allow them to have the right visuals to do that in a meaningful way, in an authentic way, in a new way that actually stands out in a really crowded visual landscape. And so, we're going to show up every day coming in to try to do that really well. Now, we can do that for more customers. We can do that in more geographies, right? We can do that in video increasingly. We can do it, in the NFT space, or in Web 3.0. But if our imagery doesn't stand out, cut through, create an impact, then all that stuff goes away, because that's the real end of the day. It's not about an image. It's about the right image that makes an impact and engages with an audience in a new way. I was just talking with some bank colleagues, bankers. They've been a bit closer to me than normal through this transaction. And if you think about a bank, it's not selling you, a businessman. It's selling you trust, right? It's not selling you a businesswoman. It's selling you integrity. And so that's what our imagery is trying to convey, to allow them to connect with those audiences that ultimately they can build their brand and build their businesses around.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing, because with all the technology and everything we've got, it still comes down to the product.
It does.
It's like with everything, Getty Images or food or whatever. So
I use the food analogy all the time. I'm like, if we were selling hamburgers, it better taste good. And, it starts there. I don't care, what your, experience is. We wrap it in a great customer experience, but you got to have a great burger. And I think Getty Images has the very best burgers within the visual imagery space. So,
well, Craig, congratulations on this, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.